Welcome to you all, and a particular welcome to Martin Wolf.
It's very easy to be friendly in the FT.
But so the answer to the first part of your question, am I surprised, is very simple, no.
I'm joined here today by Robert Rubin. My name is Martin Wolf. I'm the Chief Economics Commentator for the Financial Times of London. What do I remember most about China when I first arrived? And the answer is bicycles. When I first arrived in Shanghai and Beijing, there were tens or hundreds and hundreds of thousands of bicycles. It was a bicycle country. So I stayed in the Peace Hotel, which is very famous, in Shanghai on the Bund in 1993. And I was looking opposite to Pudong, and there was nothing. Nothing. It was just level. And I went back to there, 3 years later, and there were hundreds of huge skyscrapers. I'd never seen any building project like that in my entire life. A complete creation of a new city, essentially, in 2 or 3 years. That convinced me something extraordinary was happening here. For the West, China, though we know much more about China now than we did 40 or 50 years ago, is still largely unknown. And particularly, we look at China in terms of what its impact has been upon us rather than in itself. I would say that it's not objective. It can't be really objective. I think it has changed. Probably back in the early 80s, it was curiosity, because we knew so little about China as the opening up happened. Then people were impressed by Chinese rapid economic development. Well, I think the basic strategy of reform and opening up was correct. China took advantage of opportunities in the world economy. It possesses extraordinary human resources and an immense scale and an immense ability to organize. So if you combine China's human resources, very, very poor admittedly initially, but the nature of the Chinese people, their hard work, the savings and all the rest of it, and you open China to world economy, world trading opportunities, and world technological know-how, that's what happens. You combine the two, it's explosive. And so I think the real talent, the real choice that mattered was that the policymakers opened up China to exploit the world opportunities and to be exploited by them. It's the combination of what China has to offer with what the world has to offer that made China's development possible. It seemed to me that if China's reforms were successful, it would be the biggest development story and the biggest economic and political story in my lifetime. And that's what it turned out to be. Over the last 10 years, people have begun to feel increasingly concerned about the rise of China. China's now the second largest economy in the world. It'll soon be the largest. It's becoming more powerful, and we are aware that the West is not doing so well. Our economic system is not doing so well. Our political system is not doing so well. The impact of China is now so great. It's become such a significant player in the world in so many ways. I don't think there's any way this could be avoided. China is now becoming so big and powerful that it has huge responsibility for the system as a whole, particularly when the US is behaving really pretty badly. And the US no longer wants to bear the old responsibilities. If we're to preserve the open world economy, which benefited China so much, its opportunity to play a leading role. I think Mr. Xi recognizes this. One issue that does concern me is you are pushing the Belt and Road Initiative. So if China uses its immense capacity for building infrastructure efficiently, which is unique, in these neighboring countries, the countries on the Belt and Road, many of them poor, many of them with very limited capacities. And if those infrastructure investments are well chosen and really going to lead to further development in those countries, if the terms of lending are not too onerous, ones they can afford, then I think it can be immensely beneficial to development, even if these countries end up pursuing a development path which makes them more complementary to China rather than competitors.